Dear students, I welcome you in my channel. I am Sanju Hazria, Assistant Professor of English at Government College Ratangad. Today I am going to explain Robert Browning's poem Rabi Ben Ezra's 21st to 25th stanzas. I have explained till 20 stanzas in my previous videos. So this poem is included in BA Part 2nd year by MGS University Bikaner. And this is our 21st stanza. Be therefore once and all, severed great minds from small, announced to each his station in the past. Was I the world arraigned? Were they my soul disdained? Right, let age speak the truth and give us peace at last. Be there for once and all. Be there means Rabi Ben Ezra wants to say be there means let there be. Let there be for once and all. Finally in old age, severed great minds from small. In old age, a person should have such a wisdom in which he could distinguish between great minds and small minds. So finally, severed means separated. Great minds means those persons who hold noble and dignified ideals. From small. Small means persons holding low and ignoble thoughts. So in old age, finally a person should have the capability to distinguish great minds from the small minds, great ideals from the small or ignoble ideals. Announce to each his station in the past. Announce to each station means a man of the past would be considered noble or ignoble in the light of the new knowledge acquired by the old man. Announce to each his station in the past. In the past, a person was considered wise, great or small-minded by his knowledge. So a man of the past would be considered noble or ignoble in the light of the new knowledge acquired by the old man. Was I? Was the old man right? The world arraigned. The whole world opposed him and criticized him. In old age, a person thinks about his past actions and now he considers, was he right or wrong? When whole world opposed him, arraigned him, opposed him, were the people of the world were right in opposing him? My soul disdained. Disdained means hated. So those persons whom the old man hated from the bottom of his heart, were they right? So in the old age, a person tries to understand, was he right and wrong in his youth actions? So those persons whom the old man hated from the bottom of his heart, were they right or wrong? Let age speak the truth and give us peace at last. Let age speak the truth. In old age, the final decision on such matters can be taken only in old age, when one has grown wise with the rich experience of a lifetime. So conclusion of this stanza is, old age must distinguish between the noble and the ignoble, great minds and low minds. Old man must finally decide whether he was in the wrong in the past or the world was wrong in passing judgment on his work. In old age, it would be possible for an old man to arrive at the truth by the accumulated experience of a lifetime. So I think you understood it. Now, next stanza. Now who shall arbitrate? 10 man love what I hate, son what I follow, slight what I receive. 10 who in ears and eyes match me, we all surmise. They this thing and I that, whom shall my soul believe? So now, in youth, in young age, who shall arbitrate? Who can decide ethical questions of right and wrong in the period of youth? Who, who is that person who can decide in what is right and what is wrong in his young age? Arbitrate means judge or settle the dispute. 10 men love what I hate. Whatever is loved by Rabbi Ben Ezra, whatever is loved by a person in his young age, is loved by 10 men. And it may be said, 10 men hated what Rabbi as a young man might have loved. Son means discard. What I follow. Son, what I follow. It was discarded. Whatever was followed by a young person, whatever was followed by Rabbi Ben Ezra in his young age. Slight, what I receive. Slight means small quantity. So, slight, Rabbi's achievements might have been belittled by his opponents. He was opposed by people, so his achievements were very slight, were very small, were in very small quantity. 10 who in ears and eyes match me. Match me means were compared him. So, who match me? 10 who in ears and eyes. 10 persons. So, Rabbi's opponents in youth had the same faculties and sources of knowledge and senses as he had. So, means he wants to say many people were there who has the same faculties and the same qualities what he had. We all surmise. We all conjecture. Means we conjecture. We can say about things whatever will happen in future. We all surmise. In the period of youth, all persons form their opinions on conjectures. They this thing and I that. They said this thing and I that. Means there were the differences of the opinions. They said this thing, his opponents say that their opinions were different from Rabbi Ben Ezra and his opinions were different from his opponents. Whom shall my soul believe? So different persons who were holding different opinions in old days, it was really difficult for Rabbi as a young man to decide which opinion should really be accepted by him. Whom shall my soul believe? So on whose thing his soul should believe. So conclusion of this stanza is, during the period of youth, one is torn by the diversity and difference of opinions. Youth is likely to be lost in a welter of confusing and conflicting opinions. Youth does not know what to accept and what to reject. Youth is torn between conflicting opinions and ideas. And now we are heading towards next stanza. Not on vulgar mass, cold work must sentence pass. Things done that took the eye and had the price. Things done that took the eye and had the price, over which from level stand the low world laid its hand, found straightway to its mind good value in a trice. Not on the vulgar mass. And now Rabbi Ben Ezra is warning people, not on the vulgar mass called work. Work, it is not called the work which is based on vulgar mass. Vulgar mass means gross material achievements. Sometimes we feel very happy when we get worldly things, material things, but gross material achievements are not the good achievements. So gross material achievements, mass means heap. Cold work, people of the world recognize that as true work which is solid and tangible. Must sentence pass. Moral judgment should be given. Moral judgment should be given. Things done. Things done. Which things are done. So moral judgment should be passed on the things which are done. That took the eye and had the prize. Those tangible and solid achievements and the worldly things which could be seen by eyes and which could be paid for or rewarded in money are given importance by worldly people. From level stand, over which, from level stand, on which on which the level stand, on which the level is given, but these are vulgar things, these are low standard things. Low world, the low world laid its hand. Low world means vulgar people uncultured persons, people who does not have any culture. So vulgar people laid its hand, applied its material tastes, found straightway to its mind, at once approved that work. They approved those work could value in price, and they judge the value of material achievements in no time. In no time, they like those things which are worldly, but they can't understand. They do not have any wisdom in judging the moral things, moral achievements. So the conclusion of this stanza is, though a man is commonly judged by his actual work and output by the people of the world, yet the judgment based on solid and tangible achievements need not be sound. It is a mistake to judge a man from what he has successfully achieved on the material plane. The real worth of a man should be judged by other standards. So I think you understood it. Now we are heading towards next stanza. But all the world's course, thumb and finger failed to plumb, so past in making up the main account, all instincts immature, all purpose unsure, that weighed not as his work, yet swelled the man's amount. But all, Rabbi Ben Ezra is saying that but all, the world's course thumb, but all is the world's coarse thumb, means coarse and vulgar people with their rough and ready methods estimate the worth of a person. They estimate the worth of a person according to their own ideals, according to their own opinions. And finger failed to plumb, and finger, the coarse fingers of these vulgar people failed, means they could not get success. So these lower minded people of the world had failed to go deep into the real worth of a man. They can't understand the real worth of a person. So past means was left out to account, was not given due weightage or importance to a person's real worth. In making up the main account, in making up the main account, means in making a final judgment of a man's life and achievements, all instincts immature. These instincts are not mature. These instincts are immature. Unaccomplished impulses which could not be ripened into action. All purposes unsure, and all these purposes were unsure. All those high aims and purposes which could not be carried into action with surety and confidence, that weighed not as his work, and these are not weighed as his work. The common people judge or assess a man purely on the strength of his achievements of a tangible and solid nature, yet swelled the man's amount. Swelled means increased. So yet swelled the man's amount. All such aspirations and impulses which are noble and good, thou accomplished, must have certainly added to the real worth of a man and been taken into account in assessing a man's worth. So man's assessment should be done on his ideals, not on worldly achievements. The conclusion of this stanza is, the standard by which the materialistic people of the world judge a man's worth is defective and incomplete. While passing judgment on man's life and his achievements, we should take into account not only his tangible achievements but also his aspirations and unaccomplished impulses that led him to action in life. I think you understood it. Now we are heading towards next stanza. Thoughts hardly to be packed into a narrow act, fancies that broke through language and escaped. All I could never be, all men ignored in me. This I was worth to God, whose will the pitcher set. Thoughts hardly to be packed. Thoughts can't be packed. So, thoughts hardly to be packed into a narrow act. There are many thoughts. We know there are so many thoughts in our mind. So, there are many thoughts and ideas which cannot be adequately represented in action. They can't be given in action. Thoughts too wide and idealistic to be carried into effect. Fancies, imagination. Fancies means imaginative thoughts. Narrow act means limited action. Fancies means imaginative thoughts. Fancies escaped. Fancies that broke through language and escaped. Ideals and imaginative thoughts that cannot be adequately expressed in words. So such type of imagination and such type of thoughts which cannot be presented in language. Broke through language means could not be confined within the framework of language. All I could never be, all those aspirations which could not be realized by Rabbi. People did not give him credit for his ideals and aspirations. All men ignored in me. So all people ignore in me those aspirations, those ideals which I could not realize in my life. This means all the noble ideals and aspirations. I was worth to God. All the unrealized aspirations and ambitions of Rabbi would be estimated by God in making evaluation after his death of his, and those worthful things were realized by God. Whose will the pitcher saved? Whose will? Here, pitcher saved. God is compared to a potter and man to a pitcher, a pot. As the potter produces numberless pitchers on the wheel, in the same manner, God also produces many persons on his wheel, creates many people on his wheel. So God will realize his worth, whatever his ideals and ambitions and aspirations were. So the conclusion of this stanza is, people of the world ignore fine thoughts and fancies of a man in making judgment on his work if they find that they have no practical value. God certainly takes into account man's weak resolves, thoughts, fancies, etc. while making a judgment on his actual worth in his earthly existence. I think you understood it, and I will explain 22nd to next 5 stanzas in my next video. Thanks for watching this video. Okay, bye.